Hey everyone, and welcome to Half Full. As always, I'm your host, Carlos Espino. This podcast follows the thought that we should all come into a conversation half full, meaning we should have our own ideas and beliefs, but have enough room for a new perspective. And through that, we fill that empty half. To accomplish this, I sit down one-on-one with a different guest each episode, and we talk about what's their biggest passion in life. After the 50th take, I was able to do that, and that's awesome because we learn through our mistakes. And after a long-awaited debut, it's finally here, guys. Those of you who actually care, those of you who this is your first time listening to me, welcome. This is a passion project of mine that I've been working on for, it feels like a year now, and due to personal setbacks, work being in the way, the inability to actually find the will to do this, but when I actually start doing it, the passion within me kind of overwhelms me, and it just kind of just throws me in and says, hey, this is what you want to do, and it's freaking awesome, especially because I get to do it with friends, and hopefully at some point I get to do it with total strangers too, because I just really want to meet people who have like huge interests and they want to just delve into it for like almost 2 hours, but I'll make sure to cut it down to a good hour, 90 minutes, because we all have things to do. Some of us have things to do besides listen to dumb podcasts. Not me. I'm terrible at this. Anyways, I'm recording this little part right here because I went through a full name change, logo change, and I feel it's very important to do that to grow. Enough of me. Let's just get on to the freaking podcast.
You make me smile with my heart.
Hey guys, welcome to, another cup, but it's also the very first cup of the main series. Here we talk about my guest's biggest passion in life. I'm pretty sure you guys heard my extra cups beforehand. These are going to be a lot more structured, a lot more formatted. It's still going to be terrible because, I'm the one at the helm right here. But, I'm going to try my best to keep it to some good quality, I guess. My first guest is a man who wears multiple hats, both literal and figurative. He's wearing a hat right now as we speak. I've seen it. It's right here. He goes by many names, Marquo Vitali being one of them, Young Mills at one point, and to me, DeAndre, because he's my friend. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm gonna be honest real quick, right? I'm a very honest person. I feel honesty is the greatest policy.
The greatest.
It's the greatest one. We recorded a podcast already.
Yes, we did.
Not only the wrestling podcast, but one literally talking about what your passion is already. We did that already. Mm-hmm. I fucked up. I should have done a mic check or something like that. It was actually a really solid conversation. None of it was on you. Everything was all my fault here.
I don't do wrong, so I understand. Had to be your fault.
No, it definitely was my fault. I guess I shifted the audio, the mic in a way where we picked up you mostly, and I was really low.
Okay.
And also a lot of what I said was very murmured, or just I said it too fast. And of course, since you're here, you understood everything I said.
Yes.
But there's moments when I was fucking editing this thing, and I had no idea what the hell I was talking about. I was just saying that, just something random, just a random phrase, and then you just answer. And I'm like, what? What was the context?
Just one-sided.
Yeah,
it's all about me.
It's all about you. And pretty much that's what, this podcast is. The extra cups are pretty much about the things that I find interesting. The regular podcast is more on the host. If you've ever listened to WTF by Mark Maron, it's pretty much going to be kind of like that. I'm not trying to steal shit. This is about passions. His are just basically about interviewing the person. How's your Valentine's Day, dude?
It's cool. Get to spend some time with my lady. Digitally, but hey, it's cool. Sent her a nice bouquet. She enjoyed it very
Pro flowers?
Sherry's Berries, actually.
Sherry's Berries does flowers too?
Yeah. I got her the berries as well.
Those look good.
Yeah.
Those look like amazing.
She said they slapped, so, you know, I think I did my job well. She cried. That's how you know you do well.
Oh.
When they cry.
So you just sent her flowers and the berries? Mm-hmm. That's like a really solid Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah.
I think Valentine's Day gifts are like really hard to come up with sometimes because you want to make sure it's still a Valentine's Day gift, but it's also like you're thinking more about that person, like specific stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can go very basic and you go like flowers and a plush toy or like something like that, which is fine because you know it's not an anniversary, it's not a birthday, it's not Christmas.
It is her birthday though.
Oh fuck, you fucked up then.
She liked it.
You didn't fuck up then. Good job.
I played her. What the fuck is the name of the song? The Makings of You by Curtis Mayfield.
I'm aware of him. I don't think I've heard that song though.
Yeah, it's a really good song, and she enjoyed that as well. So, I mean, ultimately, she was happy. So, as long as she's happy, that's what matters. I don't really care about anything else.
Yeah, that's the point of Valentine's Day. It's making your significant other happy.
Yeah.
Like any way you can.
For this double occasion, because it's birthday and Valentine's Day, it feels like I definitely way overshot on Christmas because I wrote her a song. And that's like coming from me, of course, that's like, yeah, that's a big thing. But it's like, hey, I got you some flowers and stuff though. Like, you know, this is still nice as well. You know, I did some poetry on the card though. So. Oh,
I did poetry too.
Yeah. You got to do poetry. If you're artistic in any way, shape, or form, you have to be able to, but then you have to do it.
Originally, what was it? I'm terrible at L'chaim. Welcome to the Jewish podcast.
Latkes for everyone.
Latkes for everyone. Yeah. With your host, Bobby Moynihan. But
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's on everything.
All right.
So I come from not only a graphic design standpoint or background. Before that, I came from like a creative writing, so like writing poetry and stuff like that was easy, and like that kind of goes hand in hand with making cards for people. I really wanted to make her a custom card this year, but I didn't have the time or like the
construction paper.
Not just that, I wanted to like actually design it out and make it look like a legit card, but like make it only for her. So I bought her like a basic one, where I really wanted to find just a red one, but then I found this like punny one where it has a fan, like on the front that has a smiley face, and on the inside it says "Happy Valentine's Day from your biggest fan."
That is punny.
Yeah, she loves puns, so I'm like, okay. So then I just wrote like a little poem or whatever, talking about like from our first date to like when I asked her to actually be my girlfriend. Then like tying it up in a nice little bow because it is a gift.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, the Happy Valentine's Day message. And I got her favorite album on CD. And I got her, since she really likes tiny cactuses, I bought her like corgi pot holders or something like that. Like you could either put the pot in there or you could put like the actual plant in there instead.
Oh, okay.
And I was fucking scared because the pictures they had on Amazon, they looked terrible. But when they came in, they actually looked alright.
Sounds like a win.
No, she loved it. I won Valentine's Day this year.
All right.
Because she got me a card and a cookie.
Was the cookie good?
She might be listening to this. I loved it. No. But like, she actually bought me stuff. It's just that they didn't come on time. That's the problem with like ordering anything not from Amazon, and sometimes in Amazon when like you don't have Prime for the seller, or if you don't have Prime as a service for yourself. But no, it's all about like, you know, being with each other, making each other happy that day in any shape or form. We also got wings that day too.
Hey, y'all both won then.
Dude, Wingstop.
Wingstop all day.
It's the truth.
The Caribbean jerks.
I go barbecue.
See, you don't like the spicy. See, I'm spicy everything.
Ooh.
Like, I have to mango hobs. Those are my favorite.
I've tried them there. I like them. They're really spicy. Yeah. The ones at Buffalo Wild Wings almost killed me.
Oh yeah.
Those things are too spicy.
Perfect for me.
Really?
Just need a little ranch.
I don't mess with ranch though.
How you don't mess with ranch?
I don't mess with any white condiment. And you can take that how
man.
you can take that however you want. Okay.
Manly ass man right here. Jesus
It's
Christ.
like a Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec where he won't eat bananas. Like no matter what, like he will not eat a banana.
I assure you that if you take off your shirt right now, you will still have on a sweater. That's how much of a man you are.
Yeah. If you're familiar with my podcast, there will be a lot of background noise.
Ambience.
I'll try to mitigate that as much as I can in post, or I might send that off to someone I know who can do that. No? Okay, shit. All right.
I'm terrible with background noise.
I could try
Unless
messing
it's
with it.
consistent. If it's consistent background noise, I'm fine with it. But if it's inconsistent, yeah, fuck it.
Anyways, what have you been like listening to or like watching lately?
Shit.
It's like if you
I
have
haven't watched anything lately. I don't know. If I've
Listen,
watched anything.
watch.
Definitely listening to Spillage Village.
By who?
A lot. The collective Spillage Village.
Oh, okay.
So Jid, Earth Gang, Black, all of them. Listening to a ton of them.
Jid's in a group.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's a part of Spillage Village. Yeah.
You've also been listening to a little bit of Brockhampton.
Yes, I am a new fan of Brockhampton.
I turned you onto them.
Yes, you did.
I had to fucking like force you into it though. It feels because like
It wasn't even that.
it
Like,
feels like that.
I'm making music, so I resist listening to rap. When
Oh,
I'm making music. Like unless it's something that's like I've already adjusted to having it into my life, because like I've been listening to Jid for a while, so like getting back into making music, I can keep listening to Jid. But Brockhampton is new, and I don't want to make anything that sounds like Brockhampton. So
Which you should try. I want to hear like the most Brockhampton track like you can.
I mean, it could happen. Who knows? But you know,
They're
not
like
gonna do it deliberately.
they're like Anthony Fantano's like favorite thing right now. It's great.
Yeah, I can tell that guy likes him a lot.
Yeah. That was weird. Anyways, I've been trying to get through MGMT's new album. You ever listen to him?
Nothing new.
If you listen to their first two albums, I'd say stick to that. Their new album's awesome. Their new album's awesome. It's because they only have 4 albums. The third one, it wasn't even polarizing. A lot of people don't like that album.
Okay. I think I only listened to the first album.
Oracular Spectacular, the one that has
Yeah.
kids probably on it. Yeah, that's a good album. That's like one of my favorite albums. But the new album's really awesome. It turns out that every time when I find a cool movie, like I'm like, I'll watch that later. I'll watch it some other time. Like if it's not old, but it's like already been out on DVD for a while. It turns out a whole bunch of those movies that I've been pushing aside are all from the same director.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've seen Sicario? Or you've heard Sicario?
No, I'm not familiar.
Arrival?
No.
No. The new Blade Runner movie.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
aware
well-
of its existence.
All directed by the same dude. And so far I've only watched Prisoners and Arrival. I finished Arrival the other day and oh my god. I'm so mad that I've like been staying away from this director. He's just been making like amazing movies, dude.
On accident, though.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like you've seen Up, of course, right?
Of course.
It has like that memorable opening scene that's able to tell like a very well constructed story with like a whole message and idea
Yeah.
with only giving like as much information as it needs to, and
Yeah.
the audience could like feel like the emotion and like the narrative and like those scenes.
Oh yeah. If you have a heart, you cried within the first 15 minutes.
Arrival has that. Arrival is
Okay.
the first live action movie that I've seen attempt and succeed at that. It's insane.
All right then. Oh,
And it's inside of a sci-fi movie too.
okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. Anyways,
Better check that out then.
yeah, watch Arrival. I think it's on Amazon Prime right now if you have an Amazon Prime account. Or if you're a dirty pirate. You have your means, you have your ways of doing it.
Don't do that. That's illegal.
Yeah, don't do that.
You might get a call from your ISP.
Your ISPA.
Yeah.
as some people call them.
I recently got a call from my ISP saying I had like 26 copyright violations, but like I was downloading my own music from the cloud, and that's what got flagged.
Maybe it's like future you.
I don't
mess
know.
with you.
Whatever. It's weird. It's all stuff that I had purchased and my own projects, so it's like.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, so enough with this catching up. I'm gonna ask the big question that I ask all of my guests on this podcast. DeAndre, what is your biggest passion in life?
Probably that music stuff I do. That stuff.
Primarily
Very
what?
passionate about that. Primarily hip hop. The majority of hip hop. I like to experiment and everything, but you know, it's a lot of hip hop though. I rap because I can't sing. That's mostly why I rap.
I feel that's what a lot of rappers, like how like a lot of rappers feel.
Yeah,
Kanye West being like a huge kind of example of that.
absolutely.
He still does it though, so.
The thing is, Kanye can sing though. He can. He's not like the best singer in the world.
Amazingly, like he has his
But he can
moments,
sing.
but
He can do it.
I'm a huge Kanye West fan, and I'm like, yeah, he has his moments, and like it works with like what he's doing at that time. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't classify him as like a great.
Yeah,
singer.
he's not great at all. Like, I'm not gonna say he's great, but he's decent enough to where he could pass, especially nowadays.
Yeah, we definitely talked about this already. Like you liking rap, and we had a really interesting conversation about it. I thought it was interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how we're gonna go differently about this, and I'm actually pretty excited to like not know where we're gonna go with this at all.
It's a topic that I can talk about all day in whatever facet possible. So,
See, and that's why I want to do this podcast, because I know plenty of people who can talk about their passions hours on end. You know, you can tell if someone actually likes something based on how much they can actually talk about it.
exactly.
And I know some people who are really into things, but they're not like that expressive with words. They won't talk about it. They're like, oh, it's good.
I like cooking. Food tastes all right. You're a master chef at a 5-star restaurant. Yeah, I like cooking stuff.
That was a good game. I liked it. That was a fun game. Yeah, dude. Oh no, but I love finding those chefs that they go into like exquisite detail and like what the philosophy of their cooking is and all of that.
Philosophy of cooking.
There's a it's a thing.
You cook it and it tastes good.
Have you not seen Chef's Table on Netflix?
Nah, I ain't seen it.
It's awesome, dude.
All right.
That's like at least watch the first episode. It's a really like well-made documentary series, which where each episode's like based on a different chef. It's actually really well shot too. It's awesome.
I might check it out. What else? I mean, I'm a fat kid, so I grew up watching Food Network. So.
It's food porn. It's strong food porn, dude.
Right,
the plating, like the way that they shoot, like the actual preparation of like ingredients and like the finished product and everything. It's a really awesome documentary.
All right, then. Bring out the fat kid in me again.
All of us have an inner frat kid.
Did I say frat?
No, I was thinking about Billy and Mandy.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm your inner frat boy.
yeah. That too.
Everyone has an inner frat boy.
Of course. Everybody has a Chad in them.
Ooh, Chad means something else now, dude. Chad is like internet speak for like manly man, big man. Yeah, dude.
No, that's not what a frat guy is.
No, it's like something. It's like it's close to that, but it has like a different connotation to it. I don't know.
Okay.
It's mostly in kind of like the anime video game circle that I hear it in. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't play enough Persona to get it then.
No, not anime fighting games, like anime and games. You know.
Okay. Well, Persona is not only a fighting game.
Well, yeah, it's also an RPG
Yes.
and an anime. It's a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
It's amazing. That's what that is.
I've never touched a single one of them.
They're awesome. They're fun games.
They look like it.
If you're not into RPGs, I'd say stay away from it.
Okay.
It's a deep RPG.
Okay.
So, what was your earliest interaction with rap music?
one of the earliest memories I have in life was two of America's Most Wanted by Tupac and Snoop. Like one of the first things I can remember in my life, being in my bedroom when I lived in New Mexico. My brother in the room playing Tupac. I'm on the floor playing with my wrestling action figures and stuff, and just singing along every word of Snoop's verse because I love Snoop with a passion. Like always have, always will. And yeah, that's one of the earliest things in life I remember.
And you're pretty like young to be like you listening to that kind of music too. Yeah,
maybe.
I feel like some people would like have that kind of reaction to hearing you say that. But I remember seeing "Don't Be a Menace" on repeat when I was like a kid.
Yeah, I was like, that's a thing too. And then like certain people's, you know, if you're doing it, your kids are around, you're not really you're gonna be like, hey, you don't need to be watching this. But if you keep coming back, they're just gonna stop. And then eventually they'll just stop trying altogether. It's like, all right, you're fucked up, so we'll just let it be. Like, why are we gonna try to stop it?
So that was like your earliest interaction, but what really caused you to actually start even attempting at doing this kind of thing? You
know what's funny? What actually made me want to rap was my older brother and my cousins just would go around the house and like grab random stuff and rap about it, and like they were all terrible. Like none of them
I assumed
even decent, but
move the table a bit.
They would just
moving set. No, you good?
Yeah, they would just
scooch in a little bit more.
Yeah, they would all just like my brother would go in the pantry and grab, oh, sugar, I got a booger. Like it was that bad of rap, but I was just like, oh, I want to do it too. So like I came up with my own little raps and stuff, and I would only freestyle because I didn't think rappers wrote rhymes. Like, I thought that, you know, if you came up with a rap, you just rapped it. You would memorize it so you could perform it and stuff, but you didn't write it. So I would just freestyle all the time about random stuff, about wrestling, about stuff in the house, like whatever I felt, whatever came to mind.
Your mind must have been blown when, like, you actually came across, like, people like Wu-Tang or, you know, like, these kind of more deeper kind of, like, the word's escaping me, but like more intricate kind of like rapping, like rhyme schemes and all this other thing where like you're still into the whole idea that people don't write anything.
The thing is, I thought it was like, it's like you have basketball. Like basketball is another thing in my life that was always huge to me. And I could watch like a Tim Duncan, for example, is a player who has no flash or anything to his game.
The Cracker Barrel of
NBA players. Basketball. Like he catches the ball, he don't do nothing fancy, he puts it up, it goes in. And he's an all-star, he's one of the greatest power forwards of all time. But then you also have, you know,
footsie game on point.
Right? You also have like Allen Iverson, who is gonna hit you with some kind of crossover, some type of circus shot, and in some regards, he's lesser of a player than Tim Duncan, but he's far more memorable, far more entertaining to watch. And it was more so like a skill set to me. So even when I saw like rappers who could do like multisyllabic rhyme schemes and stuff, I took it as like, okay, that guy got a crossover. He can do a circus shot layup, whereas, you know, this guy is Tim Duncan. He just does pull-ups from mid-range, and that's how he makes his money. So it wasn't even like, you know, oh my goodness, these guys are doing all this crazy stuff, and I don't understand. Like, no, that's just his skill set. I don't have that skill set. I might want to develop that, but that's just how he's capable of doing it. It was always just like however you coming off the top, whatever skills you decided to focus on, that's what you got good at. So it wasn't like a mind-blowing thing to me. It was like, oh, that's how he plays.
Do you still take inspiration from the NBA while like you're rapping? In like a very indirect way, I'm assuming, but do you kind of still feel like a lingering presence?
I mean, as life in general, there's been a whole bunch of different mediums where you have somebody who has a big influence on me. And of course, you can't have a direct influence because it's a different medium. But like I brought up Allen Iverson, and people ask me like who was my biggest inspirations, and they always expect for you to say a rapper, and I don't have a rapper to tell you. I have Allen Iverson and I have Martin Lawrence. Those are my two biggest influences.
Black Knight must be your favorite movie.
Nah, not at all. No, definitely not. But
I don't think you understand. You don't understand how clever the name fits in with the movie.
Yeah, because he's black and he went to medieval times.
And he's the Black Knight.
Yeah.
But he's a knight that's also
black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super intricate there.
Right.
But the thing is, they were both like they were both like pariahs a little bit. Like they were two people who were really held down by their industries. David Stern hated Allen Iverson. The movie industry didn't want to give Martin the type of roles they were giving like Will Smith and stuff. Like they were both held down, even though they had Bad Boys together.
No, I was about to say you mean opposite Latino girls.
Sure, that too. But like they were both smaller too, and I was short. Like everything about them, like I saw myself in. So it was like these two dudes who nobody wants to be successful are doing it anyway. And that's incredibly inspirational, especially once I got older and I found out Iverson's story. I learned more about Martin's backstory, like what the things that they went through, how they were never supposed to be successful. That was like always something that I looked up to and was super inspirational to me.
Do you feel having such like a rough upbringing or a trying kind of start is necessary in your line of like music?
I don't believe it's necessary because I mean, for me personally, I don't really have that type of background because like, having grown up and getting it, I know that all the time we weren't okay, but my parents never really let me feel like we weren't okay. Like I always felt like good. I didn't think we lived in a bad neighborhood, even though we did at some points, and if we lived on base, it's like we live in base, like it's government housing, like that has to be great. Like nah, but like I would get games for Christmas like the other kids, and I would get action figures and stuff like that, and like we ate.
Let me assume your parents had jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, looking back at it now, it's like and hearing them talk about stuff, like we were under the poverty line at one point. I wouldn't have been able to tell you
exactly
that was what was going on in my household. So it's like probably indirectly, subconsciously, it has an effect there, but it's really about the way that you express whatever happened in your life or your perspectives that makes the biggest difference. And that's more the character that you can get from going through those trying times. You can get from mentorship. You can get from observation. You don't have to necessarily go through the worst of things. And I mean, I done seen some shit in my life, but like definitely not the worst that could have been possible for a person in my situation.
Yeah, and I believe that's the biggest misconception when it comes to a lot of things, be it rap, mostly rap actually, or being kind of like a African American icon or an African American of influence. You had to start out struggling to succeed, and then like your success makes it that much better or that much more important or something like that. I feel like too much of a importance is placed on that. Yeah,
like it's like I said, I definitely see where that comes from and how it does have a relevance, but like just because me, like I said, like I didn't feel it, but I definitely know now some of the shit that my parents went through, and it's like just being in the environment and knowing that those two people made sure that we were good. Like that means a lot. Somebody who came up and like, can say, I saw my mother crying every night because she didn't know how she was going to make the rent or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but it was happening. And knowing that presents an entire different layer to that same experience. So like, yeah, I don't necessarily think that the direction of, you know, because if my life was as good as it, you know, what I remember it being, and not experiencing those hardships and stuff, I feel like I would still have a lot of the same outlook on life, but also knowing that those things were happening as well gives me that secondary layer, where, I mean, a lot of those guys don't even have that because they didn't have the separation.
I feel that your parents are doing their job, and a good job, when you don't feel that.
Absolutely.
Because growing up, my mom worked 2 jobs. Like, I would barely ever see her. But by no means did I feel poor.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was underprivileged or anything like that. And it's because she was doing her job.
Absolutely.
It's like that whole, people have to understand, if you want something, you have to work for it.
Yeah. Definitely, my pop showed me the value of hard work. Because, I mean, that same type of thing, you know, whether it was him working doubles, like I said, he was in the military. So it would be like, he would either be gone for 12 to 16 hours a day, or he would just be gone because he was overseas or something. And like, I know how hard that must be, just being away from family and stuff like that, and like knowing what you're doing, you know, working on planes every day, and especially over there, because I know it was a lot more limited, especially at the time. So like, you're doing incredibly difficult work to provide for your family, and you can't even see your family. Like, that's even next level. That put me in a position where it's like, if I get to the point where I'm traveling across the world, and you know, that whole like, I can't see my family, like, well, I'm doing what the fuck I love. Like, I'm so much more appreciative of my ability that could possibly put me in that situation where it's like, yeah, the circumstance of being away, that's a hardship, absolutely, but at least I'm doing something with a gift I was given, and something that I love to do.
What was your first experience performing live in front of people? How was that like? How did you get there? Details.
Oh, man. Well, probably like the most... I feel like the poet rapper. Every poet rapper has like the lyricists, the people who do it for the craft, you know, all have either it's an open mic night or a talent show. It's one of the two, and mine was a talent show.
And you were performing something original, I'm assuming.
Absolutely, yep. And back then I was using Reason. And for any producer who knows Reason, one, it's an incredibly deep DAW.
You're gonna have to
a piece of production software.
Oh, okay.
It's a very deep one, but it's super confusing.
So something like an FL Studio, if you will.
Yeah, like an FL Studio. People know Fruity Loops. They know that one. Fruity Loops is probably the most accessible one of all of them. But it has its depth, but it's not as deep as other ones. Reason is probably the deepest one, and it is not user friendly.
Is there a reason why it's like that? I had to do that. I had to do it.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to the people at Propellerhead. But the first time I made a good beat, I was like, oh my god, this beat is actually like not terrible. I'm gonna write like the most amazing bars I can possibly think of to this song, and I ended up writing like 4 or 5 verses, like just all the bars, every single one of them, and having no experience working with breath control or just the actual ability to do syllable switches and stuff like that. I could write it all, but I didn't really know how to do it. So like, I would do it in my head, and of course it's going off perfect in my head. It's twisted in my head. It sounds perfect. And I was like, okay, talent show time. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna hit this talent show, man. I got the dopest stuff. And the first verse was actually kind of simple. It had some punchlines in it. Like, I could get through it pretty well. And I had people moving. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing it. And I was like, when I was writing it, I was like, in the middle of the second verse, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna go in overdrive. And I'm gonna, like, I was gonna rap my ass off. And I could not do it at all. Couldn't do it.
Were you out of breath? Or?
Out of breath. I couldn't even get the words out. I didn't know there's an art and actually putting together words that can be said fast. Like, you think, like, if you can write it, you can say it in your head will make sense of it, it'll make it work. Actually having it come out of your mouth is a completely different story. So I was writing, I had too many L sounds. L's don't work well. S's and stuff like that don't really work well. Hard consonants is what you want to stick to mostly. And
yeah, it's like the cacophony of all that like kind of makes its own sound into it.
Exactly. And yeah, I totally bombed after that point. Everybody started laughing. I got to the third verse where there was some cool stuff, and I kind of got them back a little bit, and then like I just died at the end because not only could I not do it, I forgot half of the words.
Oh,
this is why you record things and you listen to it so you remember it. I didn't know none of the words when I got to the end. It was just like, man, I'm gonna leave. I left while the beat still had like a minute left, and they just kept playing the beat till it was over.
That's even worse.
Yeah, my first performance experience wasn't good. Definitely wasn't good.
I don't think many people could actually say that their first foray into whatever they do was good.
Yeah.
For the most part, unless you're like a prodigy.
Yeah, you got to go through those.
I'm not talking about
pains.
the rapper.
Yeah, R.I.P. But you got to go through them growing pains, though. You have to experience bombing to even get like, okay, I should write things that I can actually say. You know, that would probably be helpful to my performance career if I can actually perform my song. It's like, but at the time, you know, I was like 14, 15, like, and I'm just like, yeah, I can totally do this. Like, I'm good.
Oh, so this was in high school.
Yeah, it was in high school.
That's even more embarrassing.
Yeah, even more. Even
wow.
more so.
I was imagining that this was like a middle school or
I wish it was.
School.
I wish it was, but it was not. And actually, the way that I had to get it back was, I just started doing straight up like Harlem, early 2000s style flows. And for anybody who's ever listened to like Dipset or like Mace or anything, they don't rap fast. It's extremely deliberate, but it's just smooth. But it's all punchlines. Like, that's the point. And a lot of polysyllabic rhyme schemes, and that's what you get across. So every rap I wrote for like the next year was nothing but that style, just so I could go to ciphers at school and kill everybody. Because I had to get my credibility back. Because I would tell people, I'm the dopest rapper out here. Like, everybody. Can't nobody rap with me. I'm the best rapper in this whole school, this whole town. Ain't nobody around here can mess with me. Then I did that, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, so every time a cipher started up, I had to come with the hardest 16 that they had ever heard. And it took me that entire year to truly get my credibility back. But I got it back. And ever since then, I'm trying not to let go of it.
How old were you when you released your first project?
My first project, I had to be like 15, 16 years old, something like that. It was like I was such a Lil Wayne stan that I was like, I have to come up with a series. Like, it has to be like a
Carter series, yeah.
Yeah, I had to come out with, something that's gonna be, I put out the first one, and it's the first one. Then you anticipate the second one, the third one, and everything, because he had the Carters, dedications, like everybody would anticipate more Wayne. So I came out with round one, the knockout, and it was in my. I came.
So each following one would be round two.
Yeah.
Round three.
Round 3. Round 4.
How far did you make it into it?
I put around 4. I think round 4, round 5, but
Again, I would have to apologize for any background noise that might become distracting. You guys should get used to this by now.
But yeah, it was round 4 or round 5. I stole CM Punk's logo.
The one with the mic and the lightning bolt?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, I stole that logo and used it as the cover.
Hey, rappers, not rappers, wrestlers steal logos like all the fucking time. Like Marty Skrull, his whole thing is that he holds an umbrella when he goes into like the ring.
Yeah.
The umbrella on his trunks, on the wrestling underwear, okay? That's what you guys probably think of it. But on his trunks is a white umbrella on like black trunks.
Mm-hmm.
Though that umbrella is the album art from a Bring Me the Horizon album. It's not even. I think the only difference is it might not include the raindrops, but I'm pretty sure it includes the raindrops.
I did not even know that.
Yeah, it's from album art.
That's dope. I love Bring Me the Horizon too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it's from their. It's from the album that has Throne on it.
Okay. That's.
Yeah, it's like one
Learn
of the
me
most
something.
recent stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, I stole that. It was the first time that I actually did production on one of my projects. On that one, before, like I said, I was a Wayne stan, so I just freestyled over everybody's stuff. Just whatever was hot at the moment, like I'm gonna freestyle over these 10 to 15 beats, and I'll put it on Dat Piff, and that was it.
Well, with that, you were the one recording it. You were the one,
Yeah.
I guess, editing it in a sense.
Yeah, all of that. And at the time there was nothing beyond recording it. It was recorded and then mix it down. It's done. Like there was no mastering at all. For the first one, I feel like I used like a webcam mic, like that I bought for like $15 at Walmart. It was, oh my god, that stuff sounds so atrocious. If I ever found any of that,
Wait, you recorded it through a webcam?
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah.
So terrible. Like, people would listen to it and be like, I caught like 2 bars and it was nice. The rest was just garbles. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I tried. Like, I can perform it for you now. Because I learned how to write stuff. I can actually rap, so I can do it for you now.
Like, no.
I don't want to hear that jumbled shit. Okay.
What would be funny is if it sounded the same exact thing. Like that. It turns out it's just your voice sounds like, just it comes from a shitty mic or something like that.
Yeah, I just have a
badly
garbled
recorded
ass voice in general when I rap.
Do you feel that having such a DIY approach where you have so much control over a lot of the facets of what you do that it makes it harder to collaborate with others?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Really, the thing is, for me, the creative process was more of a necessity than it was like a deliberate choice. It was like, if I want to be able to make original songs, I'm gonna have to have beats. If I like go steal somebody's beats online or something, and like I'm gonna have to pay them eventually if something happens with it, so I should probably learn how to make my own beats. Okay, I gotta get a studio, and I ain't got no money because I'm in high school. I'll go buy my own mic from Guitar Center. I'll record it myself. It's okay. It's getting somewhere, but it still sounds bad. I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to mix. It was all just I had to. It was never I want to do everything. I got to do everything. So now it's like whenever I get stuff, I do have more of a like I have to put my fingerprints on everything type of approach. Except for like if I get like another rapper, like I'm gonna let you rap your raps, like that's whatever. But if I get a beat from somebody, and even if you see prod by such and such, trust me, that's not the beat that I got from them. I did something to that beat. Like I have to, because I'll hear something like, I gotta fix that, gotta add this, whatever it is. I have to do something to it. But other than that, it's like, yo, whoever wants to come into the creative process, if you have something that is actually worthwhile and actually improves the quality, by all means, jump in the pot.
When do you feel that was your kind of I made it moment? Not like in a huge sense, but you're definitely like gaining traction.
The probably like the most hype. There's 2. The first one,
wow.
The first one was more so like just extremely surprising, but it didn't really do anything for me. I was on, what the hell is it? It was a streaming site. Like, it's like Periscope now, but it was Ustream. Yes. Somebody was Ustreaming a nightclub party, and my homie sent me the link, and he just sent it to me, and he's a DJ, and he knows a whole bunch of DJs, and what he didn't tell me was this DJ gave him his set list for the whole night, right? So he sends it to me right at this time. He was like, hey, you have to watch this. Make sure you start it before this time. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I click it open, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, it's stupid to just watch a party, like whatever. And then
he just shows up. He's like, hey man, I was gonna invite you, but I don't know if you're doing anything. Everyone has like gift baskets full of like gold.
Yeah, right.
the original release of Star Wars,
right.
The pre-Lucas edits. It's wild.
So it's signed by Lucas, but
oh no.
Because we want that for some reason.
I guess so.
But
weird. Everyone's getting a puppy.
But like it keeps going, and then like I hear like the whole thing like drop down, and it's just this one sample, and I'm like, hold on. Is that? And the beat drops, and I'm like, that's my fucking song. Like, that's my song playing right now. Like, in this because it's a huge club, like a gigantic nightclub, like one of those EDM fest type shits, right? And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? Why are they playing my song? And they're like fucking with it, like people are like moving to it. This is my song, and I hit him up like, yo, what the fuck is this? He was like, this is a nightclub in Japan. Like, they're playing your shit in this nightclub in Japan. I was like, oh my, are you fucking serious? Like, why? Because, like, he heard the song. I tweeted it one day, and for whatever reason, he decided to listen to that song, and he threw it in his set. And I'm watching all of these people. It's at least hundreds, if not thousands, because it looks huge. All of these people out there moving to my song. And that was, like, a huge, like, I'm doing something that can touch people. Because at this point, I'm posting my music online. I haven't even gotten a comment on anything I put out, and it's like these people are actually moving to it. And then probably the second big one was a couple years ago. There was there's like this indie artist initiative where they take people from America, and they just have a group of people all go overseas. And it's usually like the artists themselves, like there's one bigger act, and then that artist picks the rest of the acts of like smaller people. And this year was Schoolboy Q was the artist, and he picked his whole group of people, and one of the people couldn't go. Like he had like previous engagements or whatever.
When was this?
That had to be 2011, 12 or something like that.
Was this before or after Oxymoron?
This is pre-Oxymoron.
Okay, so it's pre-Man of the Year.
Yeah, it's pre like when Q like really started getting big. And so, I mean, I always like checked it out because it was something that would get promoted on Reverb Nation. Like, I was big on Reverb, and I was like, okay, it's cool little lineup. I knew a couple of the guys, and because one of the guys couldn't go, they were like, hey, everybody do a write-in vote of who you want to see, be in the show. And I'm like, let me look at the days they had a date in England. I was like, I don't really, because I've always been huge on my analytics. I don't really have a lot of fans in England. Okay, France, I don't have no fans in France. Amsterdam, though. The Netherlands, I got fans in the Netherlands.
I was about to say Europe doesn't fuck with you or something.
I got fans in the Netherlands, and I still got a strong fan base in the Netherlands. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get on Twitter. Like, hey, if you like my music and you're in the Netherlands, go to this link and type in my name and say you want me to come. Went on Facebook, type in my name, say you want me to come, put it in YouTube. That's when YouTube first got like the little activity thing. Go on there, say you want me to come, and I actually got voted in. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I thought I was going to get like maybe 50 people at the most, but it was like a couple thousand people. So, and I don't expect all those people to be fans of mine. What that meant was the people there were passionate enough to get other people to just write me in. So it was like, that's crazy. People who I can't touch, people who have never seen me on the other side of the world, just want me to come? Like for real? Enough for me to win from one place. Because these other artists who probably had their stuff written had like a little pocket in England or France or whatever. That was all out of Amsterdam. Damn. All of it. So I was like, shit, man, like that's dope as hell. Couldn't go because they still wanted you to pay for it, and I have no money. But I got voted in though. I tried to do a little fundraiser, didn't nobody give me no money, so. But that was definitely a dope moment for me. Be like, yo, like there's people out here who really fuck with me. And that's really like the biggest thing, because like I make music that I feel. Like I feel what I'm doing, and it actually comes from somewhere within me. And I'm not just trying to make music for people to like. It actually, it's coming from a sincere place. It's coming from a place of my true creativity. And hopefully if somebody does appreciate that, they can get something from it. That's the whole point. And to actually see confirmation of that was probably like the most beautiful thing that's happened to me before or since.
Who's someone that you want to collaborate with that shares the same sentiment?
I mean, we were talking about Spillage Village earlier. I really want to work with Jid. I really want to work with Jid, like super bad, because that guy really doesn't give a damn. Like when you listen to him, he's one of the most like talented, and I don't want to say this in a way that sounds like insulting at all, but he's a simple rapper. Like he can do like syllable switches and stuff like that, but he's extremely direct with a lot of what he says. And it's still like super dope. Like you usually want some double and triple entendres, which he can do, but he's somebody who says whatever the hell is on his mind, and he just says it in a way that is so creative. And he'll rap it fast, he'll rap it slow, he'll sing the shit. Like he's just somebody who just completely is off the cuff. I'm making this music because this is the music that I want to make. And I love seeing that out of an artist, and to somebody to his degree, especially being from Atlanta of all places, is like, yeah.
He doesn't sound like a rapper from Atlanta.
He doesn't. And that's, his draw, I would expect like Virginia or something, or like one of the Carolinas or something, but for you to be from Atlanta, like, I love that guy. I would love to work with him.
To anyone listening, what are like some songs, or like what's your pitch for people to listen to Jid?
If I had to pick a song, I would say the one.
No, you can keep talking, dude. I'm
okay.
Just
Oh, okay.
It's like super dark in here.
Yeah, I would, if I had to pick a song, I would say the one is Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oh, that's a great one.
For two reasons. One is one verse, and he's spitting his ass off, and it's a short song, but it really kind of gives you a good introduction to both him as a rapper and his sound. Like, I don't feel like he has a really like defined sound, but he kind of has a pocket more so. And that definitely gives you a really good introduction to that. And I mean, more than anything, as a rapper who raps, he was rapping on that song. So yeah, definitely that one. Hood Booger's another one. I love Hood Booger.
What was the name of the new album he came out with?
The Never Story.
Never Story. That had one of my favorite opening tracks last year.
Yeah, Doo-Wop is amazing.
Doo-Wop's awesome. I'm actually a little sad that he didn't kind of like get back to something like that for the rest of the album, like just that singing. Yeah.
I mean, that type of singing, because he has Hereditary where he was pretty much singing on the entire song. But yeah, that type, yeah. I mean, I wish it was more fleshed out too, but yeah, it's still like dope as hell, even in the
It's a great album to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Definitely a great introduction. I mean, shout out to J. Cole, man, for just grabbing talent for the sake of grabbing talent.
He's part of Dreamville?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Earth Gang as well from Spillage Village. Boz, Kaz, I don't know why their names rhyme, but it's weird. They're both dope though. Omen's amazing. Yeah, that whole crew. I mean, if they keep on developing, they could give TDE a run for their money.
Wow, that's some high praise right there. Some definite high praise right there. Where do you want to go with your music?
I mean, the goal is to be able to survive off of it. To whatever extent that is kind of irrelevant to me. But to be able to survive off the music, I feel like the message and not to toot my own horn, but the quality. I mean, I make dope shit, man. And hopefully, you know, if the cream rises like they say it does, then hopefully that...
One Macho Man said it.
Yeah, as Macho Man would say, when the cream rises
to the top.
Yeah, hopefully that does occur. But if I can just be like, I make $50,000 a year off my music, like it's not...
Yeah, a sustainable
I'm surviving
living. And it's like your main source of income.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody wants who comes from a creative field.
Yeah.
That you can do what you love and also make money.
Yeah. And saying that is like the bare minimum. Obviously, generally as a creative, I have a lot more avenues that I would like to explore. Obviously, if music was to that extent, I would have a lot more freedom to explore those other avenues. But if I were to hit like a J. Cole or Kendrick, Drake level type of stuff, then I have immense freedom to try those other things.
What are some of those things that you would like to explore?
I've been writing movies since I was a teenager.
So like a Donald Glover kind of thing where...
Sure.
I feel like he gained notoriety from his acting and from his stand-up, but I felt like his music, his growing popularity through his music is what opened the door to do like a lot of the things he's doing now.
I mean, absolutely, because he, as the name Childish Gambino, and he was actually really good at having Gambino be relevant and having Donald Glover be relevant, but you'll see the name, and just the name recognition eventually translates to other things. So if you see Childish Gambino or Donald Glover in parentheses has a stand-up special, you're like, oh, he does stand-up? I've heard that he raps. You could never listen to his music, but you might be inclined to check out stand-up at that point.
He's essentially, I think there's a line, I'm not going to say the actual line, but the whole idea of the line is he wanted to get to a point where they would say that James Franco is the white Donald Glover. And I can say that now because James Franco is like a Renaissance man. He does so many things. I wouldn't say there's quality in all of it.
Yeah.
Like his music's not that great. A lot of his films that he's written and directed aren't amazing. He acts well when he's given the opportunity. Donald Glover excels at each avenue he goes for.
Yeah, he's definitely, jack of all trades. He's incredibly talented. And, of course, that makes a difference. I believe my movies are good, but, of course, nobody's seen my movies. You know? And, I mean, they're just, at this point, just scripts, no storyboard, no nothing. So it's like, you have a base there.
Honestly, you don't need a storyboard yet. Yeah. A solid screenplay is what you need.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I mean, different avenues, of course, I'm super into streetwear. So, like, eventually having that be a thing. Hopefully being detached from myself. Because, trust me, if I ever were to have a clothing line, you're not going to know it's my clothing line. You will not know.
So, in no way like a Kanye West where his shoes are called Yeezys.
Nah, definitely not. You're going to see me wearing it a lot.
Of course.
And it's not even going to be like, it's going to be a thing like, right now I wear a lot of Young and Reckless. So it's like, okay, he wears a lot of Young and Reckless. It'll be like that. Like okay, he likes that brand. It's my brand, though. Like, you just don't know.
I feel if you make clothing, you should at least be wearing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it? A lot of people rag on Obey because, rightfully so, because a lot of people I went to high school with, like the kind of the douchier kids, were wearing Obey.
Yeah.
But if you actually look into the history of Obey, Shepard Fairey, the guy who made the infamous Andre the Giant Obey kind of shirt and the Obama Hope poster design, first and foremost, he was a t-shirt guy, and he wanted to make the shirts that he wanted to wear.
Exactly.
And it may have kind of gotten away from that over the years, but from the beginning, he made shirts that didn't exist.
Yeah.
He made shirts he wanted to wear. I feel if you are the owner of a clothing brand, it's not hubris that you wear your own brand. You just believe in it enough, and you want to pretty much push it into existence.
Exactly. I mean, ain't nobody gonna wear your stuff if you're not wearing it.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, why would I want to wear it if you don't want to wear it? It just makes sense.
Like, if you were to see, like, one of the top guys from Nike rocking, like, some New Balances for some reason.
Some Pumas. You got on Adidas.
Oh, that'd be the worst. That'd be like if for some reason we found out, like, if the owner of, like, Pepsi was, like, a huge celebrity or, like, figure, and we see him, like, drinking Coke.
Just downing a Coke.
It's better.
I tried. Wild Cherry's cool, but, like...
Wild Cherry's amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of the best sodas.
If I still drank soda, I would drink a lot of Wild Cherry Pepsis.
Dude, Wild Cherry Pepsi takes me back.
Yeah. Some good shit.
Yeah, it's really great. What are your... So for people to get kind of like an idea of like where you come from, what are like the big rap projects or albums or mixtapes or whatever that really influenced what you're making right now or where you're at right now?
My current status, I would say there's a good amount of My Name Is My Name, Pusha T. Really, I mean, you could Lord willing as well. Just, I mean, anything that guy is involved in. Like, all the Clips music has always had big inspiration on me. Pharrell, anything Pharrell does is huge on the production side.
I'm a huge Pharrell fan.
Yeah.
I didn't like the new NERD album as much, though.
No?
It didn't feel like an NERD project.
Well, yeah.
It felt like a Pharrell project.
Yeah. But it was a good Pharrell project, though.
Yeah. But don't sell me a cherry pie and give me a fucking fruitcake or something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not saying for quality. I'm saying, like, don't tell me one thing and give me the other.
Yeah. It could be a bomb fruitcake, but you said you were giving me a cherry pie.
Yeah, I had my heart set to a cherry pie.
Yeah. I feel you.
Like, you need all three of them working in tandem for it to be an NERD project.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel you on that. You could definitely hear Chad all over it, but, like, the extent of it, yeah.
Dude, if you go into the actual, what am I thinking of? The actual people who worked on it? Not the feature list or anything, just the personnel. They're kind of in there, but like on each individual song, it's mostly just Pharrell. Like Chad barely produces like much of those songs. Really? Yeah. Lemon, the big song, wasn't even an NERD track first.
Well, of course not.
Yeah.
That's Rihanna. That's literally Rihanna's song. But
it's a catchy song. These songs are good, but it's just like, and it's more Pharrell producing, like, production. Yeah. Which is great.
It's incredible.
What did you think about his that solo album he came out with, like, around 2014? Girl?
2014. Oh, I don't think I listened to it.
Really?
I don't think so.
Like, my top two, like, solo albums that I really wanted were, like, Andre 3000 and Pharrell.
I listened to his first one.
In My Mind or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to that one. Can I Have It Like That was, like, my favorite song for, like, a year.
He has that awesome song with Snoop Dogg. It's not the one that, like, everybody knows. It's the one that starts with he says, like, there's something about this girl or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're
That's my favorite one from that album.
Yeah. I mean, Pharrell's amazing. I mean, you could just say anything Pharrell as well. Really, a lot of them, at least in the conceptual stages, because it always moves away, but there's a lot of Erykah Badu as well.
Dude, you've been on a huge Erykah Badu kick as of late.
I love her so much.
You and Tyler are in love with her to the point where Tyler got her on a track. I think on
dream.
Wolf.
It's a dream. It's a fucking dream. I just honestly put out. You saw the verse I did on the Erykah beat.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I want her to hear it. I just want her to listen to it.
one of my favorite Common songs is dedicated to her.
Yeah.
The Light.
Yeah, The Light is amazing.
It's a great song.
And they work well together as well. I mean, the one thing that, like, scares me about her is that she makes people weird. Like she kind of, like, she pulls out their weirdness. Like, you could tell it's organic, but it's just like, wow, he's really different now. Like, before you versus after you. I don't know.
You just see some odd looking pattern or fabric that they're rocking now, where it's like,
yeah.
Where did that come
Or
from?
just like Andre wearing blouses.
I feel like we're gonna see that regardless. Oh wait, are you saying that we wouldn't have seen Andre 3000 in a kilt?
I don't know to what extent he would have went without her, because she was definitely the barrier in between the two. So, Lord knows, but I mean, yeah, that the Rosa Parks video though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which I've been listening to actually a lot of Aquemini recently.
Dude, I should have bought in that seat belt.
Yeah, you should have. If for nothing else, to let me have it.
I would want it though.
But I have a car though.
I have a car too, alright? It's shitty, but I have a car nonetheless.
Okay.
Alright, man, before we come to blows, where can they find you?
You can find me on any social media platform at Marquo Vitali. MarQuoVitali. On everything. This is why you have to brand yourself properly, people, because nobody has my name. So yeah, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, just search the name.
Bandcamp, SoundCloud,
all of that. Yes. Also, I'm on whatever streaming platform you use. Listen to MFV. It's amazing because I said so.
Spotify.
Yes, Spotify. And Honest Levity coming this year when it gets finished. We're thinking second quarter because nobody else drops in the second quarter.
Alright, I'm going to hit you with a few quick questions. Totally away from your passion, but you know, it's just a nice way to wrap up an interview. Pretty simple. Alright, if you could describe yourself in one word.
Remember what I said last time.
Here's something new.
Skilled.
That's nice. That's very understated. The one that you said last time was like very braggadocious, but I thought it was like hilarious.
Yeah, I probably said
I think
great.
it was like amazing.
Yeah, I said amazing.
I remember because I made the
Kanye
West,
joke. Yeah.
Dude, you ever see Aziz Ansari?
Of course.
There's that, you know that track, Amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right, your go-to pizza.
Go-to pizza. So me and my brother invented what we call man pizza.
You take a man.
Take a small man, preferably one with dwarfism. And Italian, yeah, so he's spiced properly. No, it's just whatever meats are on the menu and jalapeno.
Is jalapeno just add like a little spice to
Nothing but meat and heat. Man pizza.
Alright, man. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
What's your favorite kind of dog, though?
You know what? It's like stupid. It's just because they're big, but Newfoundlands are like they're gigantic. They're huge dogs.
Newfoundlands?
They're small bears. They're humongous dogs.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, they're huge. There's one lady that would come into Best Buy all the time, and
just riding it.
She could though. It was that damn big.
Because I've heard of Irish Wolfhounds and I've heard of like Mastiffs. I've heard of those.
It stands up and it's taller than most people in the store.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Alright, if you had to change your name, what would you change it to?
I don't want to change mine.
Gun to your head right now, if you had to change it.
It would probably be like some kind of weird inspirational kind of type of thing, like Vita or something like that.
After the PS Vita?
Sure.
Awesome. First thing you'd buy if you won the lottery?
A house. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's gonna have an awesome pool of some kind.
It's gonna have a decent pool.
Shaped in Rick Ross's head.
Nah, just half Olympic.
The Wingstop logo.
Nah, just half Olympic. It's a half Olympic pool, maybe with a Jordan logo at the bottom. Just because, like, why the fuck not?
I mean, you have the money to do it. I'm surprised that Michael Jordan doesn't have like a pool in his backyard that's just the Jordan.
The Jordan logo, right? Yeah. He's kind of understated. It's kind of weird. He's racist though. It's fine.
Okay, a song that changed your life.
A song that changed my life. God damn it, I don't remember what I answered for this either. It was a good one too.
Was it a Biggie Smalls song? I don't know if it was a Biggie song.
No, it was So Ambitious by Jay-Z.
It's because you're so ambitious.
But
you told me the other reason. Just tell them why.
Yeah, the story throughout the song. There's a lot of parallels that I see within myself and like what he's talking about and his upbringing and things that he went through. As far as general detractors like you're gonna get when you're a musician or if you have any aspirations really, but the similarities there for the general combative nature of life to one's dreams, and then the actual other hardships that he went through in life, saying like living with his uncle and his uncle beating him, or like his his teachers being very like singling him out in different situations, like the issues not having his father, stuff like that, issues that I don't have, you know what I mean? So to see him become one of the most successful human beings to ever touch this genre, this medium of creativity, me being a part of it, like if he can do it with all of that extra stuff placed on top of him and always strive through it, then that's something I can do too.
That's awesome, man. Again, I forgot to ask this question. It's a very important question. Where'd you get your name from?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I should have. This is the second time we're recording this, and I can't believe I forgot to ask it again. Yeah. I'm terrible at this.
So I've had a lot of rap names.
Marquo Vitali, that one.
Yeah. Okay. So I started off. It's better if I go through the whole thing. Because I started off as the Mac, right?
And you got that from Willie Mac, the wrestler.
No.
You got it from Big Mac, the sandwich.
I was a small child when I came up with that.
Got
I don't
it from
know
the
where it came from.
mac and cheese.
I think it has something to do with, like, because my middle name is Marquise, which is, of course, where the current name comes from. But it was kind of like a thing where it was like an abbreviation of it. So it was like Mac. And then, for whatever reason, I attached the militant on it. I still don't know why that was a thing. It was Mac the Militant. And then that evolved into just abbreviated as MTM. Then it was Mills by itself, and then it was Young Mills.
Gotta have that. Gotta have the young. Gotta have the little.
Yeah, and exactly when you say that, because it's like a stereotypical thing, I was like, that's corny after a while. I don't like that. I have to come up with a new name. And I had dated an Italian chick in high school, and her brother and cousins were all ball busters, as Italians are. And I love them to death. But they wouldn't call me by any alias that I had. Anything anybody else called me, they wouldn't call me that. So I was like, my middle name is Marquise. And they were like, okay, cool, we'll call you Marco. They decided to go with that one for whatever reason. Years later, I was changing my rap name because I thought it was corny. And I'm like, what...
Wait, you were Young Marco?
I was Young Mills.
Then...
I was changing Young Mills. And I was like, I need a completely new rap name.
Oh, okay.
So I was like... I'm probably going to go with Marco because I like the way that sounds. It's got my name in it. And I asked her brother what should be my last name because I didn't want to just be Marco. He was like, who's your favorite Italian composer? I said, Tomaselli Vitali. I said, go with Vitali. It's like, cool. I'm Marco Vitali now. Very happenstance, if you will. But it worked. I like the name. You search it, I come up. It's a win.
Yeah. It's also very close to that one indie wrestler we saw a couple of times.
Yeah, shout out Don Vitali.
Yep, he's a heel now.
Word? That's what's up.
He turned after he won the title.
That's what's up. I fuck with it.
That's awesome.
I was always a heel, so I was mostly a heel. Like 90% of the time I was a heel.
You're a heel most of the times we hang out, man.
Yeah, I am a heel in real life. That's why it works.
It works, yeah. All right, man. Thanks for taking the time to do this whole little thing.
Absolutely, man.
Sorry that we lost our first podcast. We didn't lose the other podcast, which is already up. If you guys haven't heard it yet, we talk about the Royal Rumble 2017, the men's one. At some point, we'll put up part 2. And by put up, I mean we will probably record that at some point.
Eventually.
But yeah, thank you for listening to this cup of Dude Smoothie, and I hope you join us next time.
Hey, my man's. Hey, you good? You look like you hurting, man. You wanna come in? We got food inside. You're okay? All right. Just let me know. You sure you ain't hungry? Peace ain't for the weak, war ain't for the poor, rich ain't for the righteous. Bet your fucking life is more to this. He ain't for the trap, she ain't for the beat, you ain't for the street. This is more than you, this is more than. I don't know everything, but I know enough, and you gon' stay sleeping till you get woke. Kill yourself if you ain't living yet. 13 years later, I ain't did it yet. String around the finger, rope around the neck, scarf on top of that, cause bitch, I'm stylish. Backstroke off my boat like that bitch docking at my island. Flyers, slave up in the motherfucking bunch. Can't wait until my descendants eating that free lunch. Hold up. Niggas gotta do better. No trap for me, no please. No act for me, no strap for me, no please. No pack for me, no please. Don't act like that to me, no please. No roast for me, no please. No boats for me, no brand new golden roast for me, no please. No hoes for me, no hip hop shows for me, no please. No baggy clothes for me, no please. No ghosts for me, I'm being what I'm supposed to be. I'm what I'm supposed to be, I'm no nigga. See why the world is so focused on being everything at the same time. Don't nobody really want to be nothing because they always trying to box people in to being one thing, you know. Duality isn't the issue, sometimes you want to be a street nigga, sometimes you want to be an activist, sometimes you want to, do the right thing, sometimes you want to do the wrong thing in the moment, but it's all about the events. Prisoner to my own duality, truth be told, my Taiji's a malady. See, Ali B told me my individuality will lead to my fatality, but actually it's my neutrality. I'm in the middle cause I ain't no sinner, I ain't no winner, I ain't ballin', boiling ramen, fly to Miami, be back in the morning, drop out of homeless, fun in the combing, saving my quarters, live for the moment cause I'm knowing that peace ain't for the weak, war ain't for the poor, rich ain't for the righteous. Bet your fucking life is more to this. He ain't for the trap, she ain't for the beat, you ain't for the street. This is more than you, this is more than me, I guarantee. I don't know everything, but I know enough, and you gon' stay sleeping till you get woken up. But everybody stuck hitting snooze.